of taking out, yeah, we see him taking out the controllers, that's when they switch. Keep in mind, Benito also has the controls, so he may be doing it. He's watching that, see if he's doing like that.
everyone, welcome to the Global Spike Chunsoft Twitch stream. I'm Ari.
I'm Dave.
And we're your co-hosts for tonight. Just earlier this week, or actually earlier this morning, we announced 5 new titles here at Game Developers Conference. And now, we're going to give you guys a special treat and let you hang out with those very game developers that develop these amazing titles that we're so lucky to be a part of. First, we have an opening statement from our president, Mitsutoshi Sakurai-san.
Thank you for joining us today.
Get closer.
Hello everyone. So I'm President and CEO of Spike Chunsoft Japan and US. Thank you for joining our first global Twitch stream. Here at GDC, we just announced 5 titles, and we couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. Thank you for all your support. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And,
So,
go ahead.
Here at Spike Chunsoft, we're very lucky to be joined by legends in the game industry, including Dylan Cuthbert, who worked on PixelJunk Monsters 2, CEO and president of Q Games. Hi Dylan, thanks for joining us today.
Hi everyone.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
Yes, it's really been a great time.
How's your GDC?
Busy. So, shall we?
So we've got a trailer for you guys today for PixelJunk Monsters 2. Roll the trailer. PixelJunk Monsters 2 is coming to Steam, Switch, and PS4 May 25th, and it will be available for $14.99. But we have Dylan here, who can tell us even more about the title.
Yeah, it's been 10 years since we released the original Monsters.
Wow, 10 years.
Yeah, and we thought, well, everybody wanted a new version, so we thought, well, let's listen to what they want and make them a brand new, completely revamped version of the game. So we thought, what can we give them that is better than before? And so we just did everything we could.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was hanging around at the Spike Chunsoft booth during GDC, and I got a lot of really positive feedback from press. Seems to be a lot of fun after you actually get hands-on with it.
Yeah, it's very addictive, just like the original. So you can imagine losing quite a few hundreds of hours to this game,
Yeah.
just like the original.
Yes.
So some people in chat seem to know you as soon as your name came up, but I think
yeah.
maybe some people aren't familiar with you. So could we get like a quick bio presentation from you?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. So I'm Dylan Cuthbert, and I run Q Games, which is a game studio in Kyoto, in Japan. And we've been running, the studio's been around now for about 17 years.
17 years.
Yeah, we've made a lot of games, and some are pretty well known, but Monsters is one of the best loved ones, and really, every day we get so many people coming and requesting about it. Originally in 1992, I made the game X for the Nintendo Game Boy, and that was one of the first jobs.
Wow, that's awesome.
First games I made,
Yeah.
and that got me to Kyoto basically, and then I sort of fell in love with the place. Then I moved on, and we developed Star Fox when I was working with Argonaut Software back in the day, and that was because of...
Yeah!
Well, it still has some fans. And
just a few.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Not
right.
too many.
And then there's a video.
Oh.
And so I really liked working and making games the Japanese way, especially. I learned a lot from when I was working at Nintendo.
What do you think the Japanese way of making games is?
It's very detailed. I came from a very early British game making background, and back then it was like boys in bedrooms, and girls programming, and just doing what they want to do. And we never really kind of refined it as much as the Japanese industry at the time, which was much bigger. And I think that was pretty cool. And that was a big difference when I came to Japan. And then, so then after that, I made Star Fox 2, which released last year.
And it's still great. You know?
I made it, about 20 years ago, but
Finally came out for the Super Nintendo Mini.
yes, yeah. It's a secret unlock. You have to finish the first stage of the original Star Fox, and then it unlocks. And so then I moved on to Sony PlayStation, and I made or worked on Captain Blasto there, which was just really funny and a really funny action platformer, kind of 3D platformer game. And that was popular with a few people. And
But now you're here at Q Games.
yeah, and so from 2001, I started Q Games because I felt like actually from a very young age, I always wanted to start a games company. So I'd always be designing my own logos and trying to decide the name of the company that I'd
So then where did the Q from Q Games come from?
It comes from the Q from Bond, so James Bond. So, like the tinkerer, like making little gadgets and fun little exciting things. So it comes from that. And
It's a very fitting name, actually.
and then I just threw games on it, and it was a very short URL. And back then, you tried to get the shortest URL you could get, and it worked. So that was great. So from about 2007, around the time the PlayStation 3 had the PSN service start, we started making the PixelJunk series because I realized that the HD screen could be used to its full extent.
Right, and it definitely is used for a full extent in PixelJunk Monsters too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean the trailer was gorgeous.
Yes, we used a lot of lighting and modeling techniques to just make the game look really good. And what people will be really surprised with Monsters 2 is that the Switch version has no degradation in quality. It looks like the PS4 version, and that's just through a lot of art design and really tuning the system. So I think people will be really surprised. One of the questions we've had since we announced is like, so what's the Switch version look like? And they don't realize that most of the screenshots are actually coming from the Switch version.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Yeah, everything looks really beautiful. Like you look at these the footage and you think it's like pre-rendered or something, but this is all like straight out of the game, right?
It's straight out of the game, and some of like the posters we've made are just straight out of the game and just printed up as posters.
Like the poster right behind you.
Yeah, like that one. Yeah, so that's just straight from the game, and then we touch it up a little bit, but it's pretty much straight from the system. And we're really proud of it. And when people see it on the Switch, they'll be really surprised. And the PS4 version is great as well. So the traditional home for PixelJunk Monsters, but this time we've spread it around to several platforms because nowadays a lot of people don't just own one platform. They're nice, yeah, quite open-minded these days.
Yeah, I mean, you've worked on Nintendo and PlayStation, and now it's all coming together in all these mass platforms.
Exactly,
So,
it's brilliant. Yeah,
yeah,
so,
that's a really awesome feat.
yeah.
So speaking of Switch, one of the things I like the best about the Switch is that it's really easy to do like local co-op with your friends, couch co-op.
Yeah.
Just grab a couple controllers,
Right.
and it seems like you're really kind of pushing that feature on the new PixelJunk monsters.
Yes, it was one of the best loved features of the original game as well, and it was quite unique at the time. There weren't really that many co-op, couch co-op games, and so this time we've done the same thing. We've enabled couch co-op and on the Switch
We could play
or
right now, like
PS4,
this.
yes, yeah, or and also 4-player online, which is going to be really cool and really different. So I think it's going to be just quite mind-blowing, really, to everybody. I mean, it's been 10 years, so hopefully people will come back and just fall back into the old rhythm of PixelJunk monsters.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, man. Actually, later on in the presentation, we'd like to get some,
Some hands-on action.
Yes,
PixelJunk
yeah,
monsters too.
and I think a lot of people are waiting for that as well.
Yeah.
So we'll come back
So,
at the end.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. And speaking of which, I should have mentioned, for those of you just tuning in right now, we are talking with Dylan Cuthbert about PixelJunk Monsters 2, but we did promise giveaways.
Ah, yes,
Yes. So this Tiki Man,
yes.
of which I'm holding, can I give him away? Is it okay?
Yeah, he's.
Is he
I
up
don't
for
want to give him.
adoption?
I don't want to give him away, but
Oh.
for the fans, I'm gonna.
All right, you heard Dylan yourself. This is for you guys.
Yeah, it's a lovely little teddy bear.
Oh. Well, he's so adorable, and you can also make him run,
Yes,
just like in the trailer.
Yep.
All right, so who wants a Tiki Man? I'm seeing a lot from the chat right now.
Yeah, come on, who wants it?
All right, so we're going to choose, for everyone who's in the chat right now, a random person will be selected to win a Tiki Man.
It's going crazy.
Oh, there we go. Me.
Yeah.
Everyone say Tiki Man, and then you get Tiki Man. I'm just waiting to manipulate chat.
Yes,
Anything
yeah.
possible. That's
Quite good, isn't it?
That's what you do when you're on Twitch. Oh,
We have our
look at
chat
them.
lord over there off camera running
Yes.
the raffle, so
Yeah.
All right, so our chat lord, Kazu, taking care of you guys back here. He will be messaging you if you won Tiki Man over here.
Look forward to that.
in the meantime, we kind of wanted to ask you a few quick questions about what it was like developing the game. And while
Yeah.
we're asking those, we'd like to get some questions from chat if there's anything you wanted to ask Dylan in specific. Now that we've got him here in the studio.
Yeah.
So first question from chat is, what were the hardships of being a programmer? I mean, you've worked at Nintendo, you've worked at PlayStation,
Right.
you have 30 years of experience in the
Yeah,
game
yeah.
industry. I'm sure for any aspiring game developers, that's a very interesting question.
There's not really that much. I mean, a lot of people think programming is very hard, but it's not actually that hard at all. It's more like
Well, that's news to me right now.
it just seems like it's hard, but when you take it all down to its very very low level concepts, it's actually not that hard. It's just really a few loops and a few like if then type constructs and a sort of and a bit of arranging data, and that's about it. And it's surprising how some people don't go into programming because they think it's kind of scary and too bad, but it's actually quite good. And I think a lot more people could try it.
Which was more difficult, learning how to program or setting up your own company in Japan?
Oh.
Actually, it was surprisingly easy to set up a company in Japan. A really quite a nice, like a very smooth experience. Like everything's kind of streamlined. I was quite surprised. I probably have a lot more trouble trying to do it like in the UK. So it was. I found it. I found it refreshing. So.
Question for me: what do you want players to take away? I mean, we've had PixelJunk Monsters before, but from PixelJunk Monsters 2, what kind of impressions do you hope they'll have about the game?
I think the game itself has been designed to be like a morning TV program a little bit. So the look is very sort of claymation, and we went with a lot of studio lighting. So I'd like people to come away with it thinking or feeling that they've just watched something like Wallace and Gromit or Shaun the Sheep and those sort of Aardman style animations, and not just that they've just played a game, but they've actually just experienced like a nice
an entire world.
Entire world,
Yeah.
yeah. They've taken part in and had fun in and enjoyed. I think that'd be really cool.
I'd like to take one more question from the chat, and people want to know how exactly did development for this project start?
Okay, yeah. So about a year and a half ago, we knew that the 10th anniversary was coming up, and so we thought, well, maybe we should do something. You know, we've never really done a sequel before. There's PixelJunk Shooter and PixelJunk Shooter 2, but they were more like part 1, part 2. And so we thought, well, okay, let's start building up a demo, and we started doing the concept art to try and see if we could get like a nice new look, and taking the original game, which was 2D, obviously, and hand-drawn 2D, taking that and converting it into 3D was actually quite a challenge in itself, because animation doesn't really translate exactly the same way. And we worked really hard to refine the look, so when people look at the 3D version, it doesn't look wrong. Right? It looks like how they remember the 2D version. And I think, and that's about the time when I got to that point, that's about the time when I started speaking to Sakurai-san and said, well, I want to make this a bit bigger, so I need some publishing cooperation here. Yeah, so exactly, exactly, yeah. And that's how we're here now.
Thank you. It's an honor to have you guys on board with us, and especially since we just started up here in the US, I think this is the best way to reach fans globally and across several genres and several different tiers and ages of gamers. Yes, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the response when everybody gets to play it. You know? Yeah. Well, actually, the Q Games team and Dylan are super kind to do a second giveaway. We do have another Tiki Man over there in the corner, hiding. Hello. Hello. All right, who wants him? Yep, come on, let's see another wave of hands. Yeah, another wave of a dancing Tiki Man. Oh, there we go. There it is.
He's getting friendly.
All right. And random picker will pick someone, and you'll get a DM. Cool. They're going crazy. They are just going wild. That's awesome. That's exactly what we want to see. We should get them to say things that we want them to say. You know, say I love you. Yeah, say I love you, Dylan. they're still going. So embarrassing. Oh man. Well, that's great. We love you, Dylan. So thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by, coming over. It's great. And, giving us your time all the way from Kyoto. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I'll be back later. Yeah, we'll have you back in a couple minutes. So, thank you much. Thanks for the chat. All right, and next we've got Dave here. Yep. Who's going to talk about Fire Pro Wrestling World for PlayStation 4. Since we're on the topic of very Japanese video games, I'd like to give everybody a quick update on the status of how things are going with Fire Pro. Earlier, originally the game started in Steam Early Access. We left Early Access late last year when we announced the PlayStation 4 version. So just to catch everybody up to speed, I'd like to play the trailer to give you an idea of what the game looks like. Roll the trailer. World coming to the PlayStation 4 this summer 2018.
So Fire Pro Wrestling is a very old school fan favorite. Like I said in the trailer, it's been over 10 years in the making because the previous installment of the Fire Pro series came out originally for the PlayStation 2, and the director's been trying to make a new installment for that game for the past 10 years. He finally got the approval, and it went into Steam Early Access where it did extremely well, so we're happy to finally move production over to the PlayStation 4 version. As some of you may have heard, we've entered an official sponsorship deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So like Shinichi, basically like the biggest wrestling promotion in Japan.
That's
so
awesome.
It's super exciting. There's also a lot of work that we have to do still. So we wanted the director Matsumoto to come here to talk more about the project, but he's actually so busy working on
making the game happen.
And making the game happen that he couldn't be here with us in the chat tonight. So unfortunately, I don't have any specific details about the PlayStation 4 version that I can say right now, except that it's coming out in summer later this year. Yeah. And once things kind of calm down more at the head office, I will head up another Twitch stream with director Matsumoto to give you guys all the details. So please be patient with us until then.
Well, speaking of Twitch streams, so Dave, you've kind of been heading up all the Twitch streams. I'm sure chat is very familiar with you. But
well, all the Fire Pro fans know who I am. Everybody else probably has no idea what I'm doing sitting here.
How could you ever forget this face? Come on, you guys.
For those of you that don't know, my name's Dave Kraker. I work in the Spike Chunsoft Japanese home office. I started there about 2 years ago to help them start promoting their games on Steam, and things have been going extremely well for us. So well, in fact, that we're able to open a Western office where we have the likes of Ari, who's here to be my replacement and my better half.
Oh, no, not replacement. We're partners. We're partners. But that being said, the reason why I'm on here to help you, because you have a lot more work to do now that you're the localization director of 428 Shibuya Scramble, which is our next title. Check out that segue.
That is very nice. I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly.
So 428 Shibuya Scramble, it's a visual novel that uses all live action footage. So it's like real actors in real locations. The story takes place in the streets of Japan. To be specific, Shibuya itself, which is kind of like the youth hotspot of the city. So we
actually have a trailer first.
Yeah.
We should take a look at.
Rather than bore you with my words, let's roll the trailer.
We'll bore you with more words later. .428 Shibuya Scramble coming to Steam and PlayStation 4 this summer 2018.
That's right.
Pre-orders are now started, so you guys can go to your local Amazon, GameStop. I'm sure there's a couple links that we posted on our Twitter. So
yep.
Check it out.
I'd like to kind of go into more details about what it is that makes 428 so special.
With a presentation.
Yep. So like I mentioned earlier, you know, it's a live-action visual novel, which is pretty unusual for the genre. You know, most visual novels kind of have a anime aesthetic, but since 428 uses all live-action footage with real actors, it's something more akin to like a TV show or like a TV drama. But at the same time, it's a visual novel, so it's all still photography. 428 uses a mix of different styles with like still footage mixed with full motion video, and for the the still photography, it uses a method that I think of as like static motion, where you have a series of images. Go back. Where you have a series of images that are.
It's kind of like the images we have here on the screen, right?
Yeah. So it's like there'll be, they'll use various different effects on the screen. Like fade-ins, fade-outs. Different like explosion effects or like zoom effects and things like that. So even though the images are technically still images on the screen, it creates this illusion of movement. So there's always something going on, like camera pans. The sound design is also very unique. It gives pretty much gives the whole game a very cinematic feel.
It's basically like playing through a movie. Then.
Yeah, it's like a movie that you can kind of take at your own pace. So it's definitely will appeal to fans of visual novels, but also people that kind of want to see more of a down-to-earth like live-action story. I think could also get a kick out of the game.
Yeah, it's a pretty emotional story from what I've heard.
Yeah, actually, to talk more about the story, I'd like to jump over to some live gameplay footage.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I can give you an idea of
actually
how
have a
everything rolls down.
controller under the table here. Oh wait,
I think
controller.
maybe it's
not
this
the one under the table.
So, 428 Shibuya Scramble is based around a kidnapping case. The daughter from a well-to-do family is kidnapped, and the criminals ask the sister to come to the Shibuya Scramble.
Particularly at Hachiko.
Yeah,
right?
the Hachiko statue, which is like this, which is a, the Hachiko statue, which is a trademark in Shibuya where people like to meet. So she shows up to make the ransom money handoff. The police have a dragnet set up, but the criminal shows up and he manages to evade the police dragnet. So he drags the police on this kind of wild goose chase through the city. And at the same time, the girl that was supposed to make the handoff gets accosted by a mysterious guy wielding a revolver.
Oh,
so
no.
a good Samaritan who's standing by happens to see everything going down, and he saves her and pulls her on a chase through safety through the city. So the name Shibuya Scramble is kind of a pun, like Shibuya Scramble. Yeah, like the scramble intersection.
But also the scramble that happens at Shibuya, because all this mystery. But here we're starting with Achi, or? Yeah, so there's basically, the story revolves around 5 different characters. There's like 5 different stories that all run in parallel. Okay. So events that happen to one character can also affect events that happen to another character's scenarios. I'll explain a little bit later in the presentation. Let's take a look. But for example, we have Achi. Yeah. He's basically like your general nice guy. He used to be the leader of a youth gang. But now he's... Like all nice guys, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, his gang was more of like he just wanted people to like hang out and have a good time in Shibuya, but they got too thuggish for him, so he kind of dropped out. And now he's like Shibuya's unofficial garbage man, where he goes around and cleans the streets of trash. So that explains his t-shirt that he's wearing right there. It says Eco on it? Yeah, he's a real stickler for picking up trash, and if you litter on the streets, he won't let you get away with it. Kano is a young detective who's assigned to the kidnapping case, and he has a heart of gold, but his head's in the clouds. He's kind of like very focused on his job, but on the other hand, he's also worried about marrying his would-be fiance, but she has like a very strict Japanese father who won't give the daughter up for marriage unless Kano comes and like proposes to her. But the father hasn't given Kano the time of day up until today, which is when all the stuff is going down with the kidnapping case. Of course, of all days, on April 28th. Yep, so Kano kind of has to make the decision of if he wants to pursue his job or if he wants to try to pursue his would-be fiancée. And we have Minori-kawa, who is a rabid journalist. He's always chasing the next hot scoop. His day starts when he gets a sudden urgent phone call from his former editor, who is up to his neck in debt. He needs to meet an impossible deadline by the end of the day, or else Yakuza money launderers are going, or what would you call it? Like, they're going to kill him? Yeah, like they're not going to kill him. They're going to do worse. Like the Yakuza loan sharks are going to come and repossess his daughter. Oh, that's even worse than killing him. So Minori Kawaga needs to leap into action to save his former boss. And Osawa is he seems like a smart guy. with that pose.
He's a very smart dude. He's another he's a fellow scientist.
A fellow scientist, I see.
He's actually the lead researcher at a large pharmaceutical industry who's focuses on viruses and creating vaccines and antivirals and things like that.
Oh, very cool.
So he's kind of torn between his position at his job and also his obligation to his family. And next we have my favorite character.
My favorite character as well, obviously.
Tama, who is basically what you see. It's a girl who lost her memory and found herself stuck inside of this animal
Giant
mascot.
I mean, that's a good life.
Yeah, but
I would
I
be
mean,
okay with it.
she doesn't quite know how she ended up here, what's going on. So she's just kind of going along with the flow until she, regains her memories and finds out who she is and where she's supposed to be. So the game itself.
Wow, there's a lot of scenes there.
Yeah, so the game takes place over a 10-hour period in Shibuya. Each chapter of the game is broken down into a 1-hour time block. And within each 1-hour time block, these are further broken down into 5-minute segments. And it's pretty common in visual novel games where you can kind of like move back and forward through time. But in this title, you can also move sideways through time.
Oh, wow.
So, each character's stories are broken down into 5-minute segments, so you can see what each character is doing at the exact same time
hour.
in different parts throughout the day. So, a decision that you make for one character can have disastrous consequences for another character.
Well, do you have an example?
Yeah, so, okay, let's say here, let's just
Some
jump into
Yakuza-looking guys?
Yeah, some Yakuza-looking guys, very descriptive.
Yakuza-looking, that's the key term right here.
So let's jump into Achi's scenario. He's walking through the streets with the girl that he rescued, and he suddenly gets approached by these two Yakuza-looking thugs.
I don't know, A or B, guys. Not sure.
So, they ask him for directions.
Yeah.
And, you could do the smart thing and tell them to screw off and go the other way. Or, Achi's a nice guy, so maybe he's going to help them out and give them directions to the location that they're looking for. And I want to play Achi being a nice guy, so I'll just be like,
because he's a nice guy. I mean,
yeah, he's
he picks up trash, he recycles.
Yep. So, but sometimes being a nice guy doesn't always pay off.
Oh no.
So here we made the choice where we told the Yakuza thugs how to get to where they needed to go. The impact of that might not be immediate, but let's move over to Tama's scenario within the same time block. So part of Tama's struggle is that she's working this part-time job in order to buy an item that she thinks is related to her past. She thinks that if she gets money through this job to buy this item, then it'll kind of help her gain her memories back. So even though she's kind of working with like a real dodgy guy, kind of like handing off this like bogus diet drink, she kind of has to stick to her guns to work through her job in order to get paid.
I love all her expressions. She's like constantly holding her head, moving around.
So jumping a little bit further ahead in her scenario, they're waiting for her boss to show up and explain to them what's going on with today's demo.
Oh, these are the diet drinks.
Yep. But unfortunately, right before her boss is supposed to arrive, we find that the
Yakuza guys,
yep.
or the Yakuza-looking guys.
The Yakuza-looking guys. So, like, Achi, being a nice guy, inadvertently led the Yakuza straight to Tama's boss.
Oh, no.
Who, of course, he's up to his neck in debt to these guys. So, long story short.
Like, I got that Yakuza lean.
Yep.
Definitely Yakuza-looking.
The Slav squat.
Yeah. Oh, she's so cute. Oh no!
But yeah, good question. Am I actually going to get paid for this gig? Probably not, so.
Oh, I see. And then he just gets taken away.
Yep.
Off to the abyss. Far, far darkness. So where does that leave Tama?
It kind of leads her SOL. I mean, she doesn't have her
all
memories.
By herself.
She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have any money.
Oh no.
So, all because Achi tried to do the right thing.
Oh, what a horrible person actually now.
So you'll be seeing the screen
That's
a lot
bad
in the
end.
game. Yeah, there's multiple bad endings, over 50 in fact.
Right.
So The idea is that since we reached a bad ending with the character, then you would go back to the timeline and jump back to where you made that poor mistake.
And to choose other choice this time.
Yes. So
I see.
now that we understand what we did wrong, we can go back and make the right decision, which in this case is telling the guys, giving them bogus directions so they go in the other direction. And then if we jump back over to Tama's scenario, we can see that her scenario continues on and she can continue with her story.
So it really is a game of trying out different options, learning from your mistakes, and coming back to redo those.
Yes,
Yeah.
but in a way you're kind of incentivized to make mistakes because even the bad endings can kind of reveal something new about the game.
I see, wow.
Like certain areas of foreshadowing are revealed through bad endings, and some of the endings are also just like kind of like non-canon gag endings.
Oh god,
So-
those are the best, right?
So yeah, it's definitely worth your time to kind of search through and purposely make bad decisions and kind of seek out all the different scenario routes that you can find.
Well, I think this is a good time to get a question from chat for our localization director, Dave.
Sure thing. And if we can jump back to the
So-
presentation.
Yeah. So, a question from chat. How did you get the idea for this game? Or like, what was the idea behind it, rather?
So actually, 428 is part of a long heritage of games called sound novels. That's kind of how we branded them in Japan to separate them from normal visual novels.
From a visual novel, so what makes it a sound novel then?
Well, the first sound novel game was called, it was released on Super Nintendo, it was called Kamai Tachi no Yoru, which was released in the West on cell phones only as Banshee's Last Call, or Banshee's Last Cry, excuse me. And it has a similar idea where it's like, as opposed to a visual novel which is kind of based on anime aesthetics, they used like, it's kind of more like literary based. The story was more like a traditional murder mystery, and the sound design was also very advanced for the time, so it kind of gave it the cinematics feel.
So, sound novel then?
Yeah, so like sound and presentation are very important. And when they moved on to the next generation of hardware, they released a game called Machi, which like literally means like city. And it's like basically like 428, but like 10 years ago. So like 428 originally came out in 2008 for the Wii. Machi came out like 10 years previous for that, for the Sega Saturn. And it's the same idea where it's like we want to do kind of a more mature story with this great presentation. So, using live action footage as opposed to, anime aesthetics kind of allows you to do something different.
Right, and I definitely think it pulls people who are fans of Japanese movies and Japanese live actions into the video game visual novel world as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of like good for both fans, because if you like serious stories, there's a lot to get from 428, but if you enjoy kind of like Japanese aesthetics and
gaggy,
so
it's definitely that.
The game has a very unique sense of humor. Like it's like a very serious situation, right? Like there's been a kidnapping. There's like a bioterrorism plot in Shibuya, but there's also a lot of over-the-top elements that all the characters kind of play with a straight face. So it's almost kind of like a very like British style, like surreal, like very understated humor. So.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting to play the whole game myself. But 428 coming out for PlayStation 4 and Steam this summer 2018.
Yes.
Thanks to Dave and his team.
Actually, one thing I wanted to mention before we move on was about the localization. I worked with a company called Kajiya Productions.
Oh.
And the lead editor for the project is a guy named Alexander O. Smith, and some people might recognize his name from
Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, he did the Phoenix Wright series and like Final Fantasy XII, Vagrant Story, etc. And he is really he's a true wordsmith. He's really good at kind of like working with like the quirks of the Japanese language and like taking those puns and putting them into English in a way that is hilarious for American audiences as well. So,
and that's really important for localization companies, honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a very strong English script within 428 to begin with. So I mean, the writing is top notch. So
and it's finally coming to the West here with Spectrum Stuff Incorporated.
I'm a bit biased because it's my title, but it's pretty hilarious, and I think you'll kind of because the 5 protagonists are all kind of have very different motivations, like you'll find one to latch onto that kind of like reflects the kind of the troubles that you're having in your own life at the time, and you can kind of let them take you through the story. So.
Well, I'm definitely already relating to Tama. I'm always stuck in a costume my entire life, so.
Yeah, well, I'm also stuck in a costume today. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Ari.
you're very much welcome, Dave. Thank you for wearing this lab coat for me. Well, speaking of lab coats, see that next segment? You're so good at this. We have Steins Gate Elite trailer ready for you guys. Steins Gate Elite is coming for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Steam. Roll the trailer. In his nice Chiyomaru sounding voice in English. If Chiyomaru spoke English like Dave. Go.
So ironically, Chiyomaru sounds exactly like me if you were to speak English.
Oh, and also the lab coat, right? Yes.
So I apologize for reading off the script, but it's a rather long message. So
He had a lot he wanted to say to you guys because he couldn't be here. So
just imagine that I'm Chiyomaru and not me. So
Henshin transformation.
this is Chiyomaru Shikura, chairman of Magus Inc. and creator of the Steins Gate series. We're happy to be partnering up with Spike Chunsoft to bring our titles like the Steins Gate series overseas. Today, I'd like to introduce our latest title, Steins Gate Elite. Since the first game's release in 2009, we have now enjoyed 10 years of loving support from the many fans of the Steins Gate series. And this year, with the help of our partner Spike Chunsoft, we will be releasing new titles in the West like the latest game of the series, Steins Gate Elite. Our latest title, Steins Gate Elite, is our first fully animated adventure using animation from the full-length anime version. The game will be available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Steam. Also, bonus content will be made available for each version. For the Nintendo Switch version, fans will have access to Steins Gate 8-bit, an NES-style 8-bit version of Steins Gate made with this question in mind. What if Steins Gate existed in the 80s? And for the PlayStation 4 and Steam versions, fans will have access to Steins Gate Linear Bounded Phenogram, which is made up of 10 total scenarios for various characters. Details on how to obtain the DLC will be coming soon. I'm looking forward to seeing how they will be received by our fans overseas. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there in person this time, but I do hope to visit the US sometime in the future. Thank you very much for your continued support. Now, please enjoy the new Steins Gate trailer.
So, I figured out why the trailer didn't work. It's because I said start the trailer, but we needed to have Chiyomaru's comment read. And now we can start the trailer. in the lab coat.
All right, you got me.
Steins Gate Elite coming 2018 for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Steam. But that's not all.
Oh, do you have a presentation for us to give
I
us
have
more
a
details about the game?
presentation to show you even more of this, and we're just going to keep doing this during the whole presentation. So Steins Gate Elite, developer being Mages and us being the publishers. What exactly is the Steins Gate series? As we mentioned earlier with the Chiyomaru comments, it was created by Chiyomaru Shikura-san, and it's the second installment in the whole science adventure series, first released in 2009, essentially revolving around Okabe Rintaro, this guy who wears a lab coat.
Oh,
I don't really
actually
know why,
more like this guy than this guy.
I don't know why people wear lab coats in just broad daylight, but they do it to feel like a mad scientist, I'm sure. And so we have here Hoin Kyoma-san, who is the alternate identity of Okabe, who accidentally built a time machine with a microwave and a cell phone. And things get spin out of control from there, and they get caught up in this great global conspiracy that essentially it's up to them to save the world from World War III. As I mentioned earlier, we have Okabe as the main character, but he's also joined by Daru, Mayuri, and Kurisu, and the whole plot of the game revolves around these characters. Steins Gate Elite itself, though, is the remastered ultimate version of Steins Gate with, as you saw in the trailer, fully animated scenes. So all 24 episodes of the original anime by White Fox will be included, as well as newly animated scenes. And in Chiyomaru's comment, as he mentioned, we do have Steins Gate Phenogram for Steam and PlayStation 4, which is essentially 10 stories in the perspective of all of these different Steins Gate characters, all written by 10 different authors, including some that you guys over there in chat have constantly been mentioning that you might know. Kotaro Ichikoshi-san from Spike Chunsoft, writer of the Zero Escape series, and Shimokura, who writes for Natural Plus. And that will be available, like I said, PlayStation 4 and Steam. But for Switch, we got a more portable, fun, looks a bit more like something you would see on a portable platform, an 8-bit graphics, Steins Gate 8-bit. And this is essentially, as Chiyomaru-san said earlier, I'm just quoting Chiyomaru at this point. What if Steins Gate was created in 1988? So this takes place after the true ending of Steins Gate, and as I said, will be available for Nintendo Switch. Pre-order now! Steins Gate Elite.
Oh, sorry.
You have to do it! You have to do it!
I'm so off cue.
But you're on cue for the next trailer that we've got for Steins Gate 0.
You spoilers. Okay, so a lot of people are probably wondering, like, what other Mages titles are you guys going to be bringing over? Because me, I'm like the PC guy, so I want to bring over as many titles over to Steam as possible. So some Mages titles that were released in the West haven't made it over onto PC platforms yet. So I'm trying to remedy that, and the first project that I have lined up is in our next trailer.
Steins Gate 0 is coming to Steam.
Yeah, we're bringing it over on May 8th. Steins Gate 0 has actually already been released for PlayStation 4 and Vita, but this will be the first time coming to PC. And it's actually a good timing because the anime of Steins Gate 0 is also starting
In April.
I think it's like April 13th or so.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm
But,
really looking forward to it.
Yeah, but like seriously, guys, like spoiler alert: if you haven't finished the original Steins Gate,
don't do it.
Don't do Steins Gate 0 because it is like truly a sequel in in the worst way possible, or maybe the best way possible. It follows the path of one of the bad endings, where it assumes that the main character, Okabe, is not able to save the person that he was setting out to. So, as some people in chat pointed out, yeah, it's definitely a visit to the darkest world line.
Dark era.
It's a pretty heavy story, but it kind of shows a more mature side of the characters that we normally don't get to see. And it also introduces some new characters who have deep relationships with the existing characters within the series. So it kind of fills in some of the gaps of the stories.
Whoa, that's a treat. But speaking of treats, you know, our friends at Mages were very happy to supply you guys with giveaways. That's right, we didn't forget about that. We have here exclusive Steins Gate Elite shirts, Mayuri and Kurisu, who is like half covered. So if you want this t-shirt, who's best girl, Mayuri or Kurisu? Go! I was actually wondering which cat thinks is more popular.
Well, I think you're asking the wrong question.
Oh.
Because
oh no. Oh, because we've got even more giveaway items here. Mayuri and Kurisu keychains as well. So we have 3 of these to give out. Oh, I'm just gonna go up and show you guys exactly what this looks like. Wow. That is too close. But very awesome. So we'll have a free giveaway being given for these, as well as the Steins Gate Elite t-shirt. And this is a large, so it will fit you when you wear your lab coat.
So we'll be choosing 3 winners total then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 winners total. Awesome. All right, so next, for all of you Danganronpa fans out there, we've got a very special guest in the house today. Please welcome Yoshinori Terasawa-san.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to our Twitch stream.
ストリームへようこそ。
よろしくお願いします。
します。
それは何のコスプレですか？
あ、これは、
クリスですか？
いやいや、
クリス。
He's cosplaying as Christina from Steins Gate Elite.
ねえ、こっちはね、ゼンですよね。
And I'm cosplaying as Zen
あそこね。
from Zanki Zero, last beginning.
非常にクオリティが高くて。
Oh, thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。
I think a lot of people might actually be seeing this character for the first time.
Oh,
so.
yes, that's true. Good thing we can talk about it right now. So, Zanki Zero, last beginning, coming out for PlayStation 4 and Steam. And Zen is one of many characters. There's a party of 8. And Zen is one of the 7 deadly sins of wrath. And that's actually one of his character models. So they're very expressive characters. So I was really happy and excited to prepare this cosplay for a stream. And Terasawa-san actually was the one that gave me this towel. So thank you so much for that. You completed my cosplay.
So why don't we take a look at the trailer so we can see the characters in action?
Yeah, you can see Zen himself. Go, let's do it. Zanki Zero, Last Beginning, coming soon for PlayStation 4 and Steam. So Terasawa-san, I hear you prepared a presentation for us.
今回はプレゼンテーションを用意していただいたということですね。
はい。じゃあもう早速資料の方。
Okay, let's show you the presentation then.
はい。
Let's do it.
はい。ということで、残機ゼロラストビギニングということで、プレゼンというかプレゼンテーションをさせていただきます。
So today we'll be showing you a presentation for Zanki Zero, Last Beginning.
はい、残機ゼロの世界はですね、人類が滅亡してしまった後の世界になります。
The setting in Zanki Zero is after the world has been destroyed.
大丈夫？はい。まあそこでね、生き残ってしまったというか生き残った、キャラクターたちが、サバイバルしながら生き抜いていくというそういうゲームになります。
The story is about these 8 protagonists that are the last surviving humans on Earth.
はい、じゃあ次のページへお願いします。
Oh, next page.
はい、キャラクターたちですね。これが4人の男の子たちでございます。
So these are 4 of the 8 characters. These are the males.
このファーマーね、こちらの方が今のね、
All the
アリちゃんの
characters, yeah.
ゼンですね。
She represents Zen, the farmer in the story.
で女の子たちがこんな感じで4人いますと。
And these are the 4 girls.
はい、エクステンドテレビというですね、彼らを導いてくれる、キャラクターたちがいます。
These are the mascots of the game from the show called Extend TV
は
that
い、
will
未
guide
来
the
とそうです
characters
ね
and the players.
はい。で、彼らはですね、実はクローン人間です。
The 8 characters are actually clones.
13日で、寿命が来てしまうと
They
いう
live
シ
and
ステ
die
ム
for 13 days until they die of old age.
なので、まあ、このゲームをやってるとどんどん、死んで生き返ってということを繰り返していきます。
The main concept of the game is they will die and live and repeat over and over in the game.
で下の写真は同じイベントシーンなんですが、プレイヤーによって進行度によってその時の、見た目が変わります。
The screenshots you see in the bottom are actually from the same scene, but depending on how you play, your characters may look completely different from somebody else's gameplay.
ゲームシステムの方ですけども、自分の拠点となる、ベースを拡張することでサバイバルに、有利になっていきます。
Some of the survival aspects of the game, there are facilities that you can build that will help you survive throughout the RPG.
で廃墟の中の探検に関してはリアルタイムで進行するので、戦闘システムもリアルタイムで敵と戦うことになります。
Everything in the game is done in real time, including combat. So as you explore and go through dungeons, fight enemies, everything will be done at the same time. So there's a sense of urgency as you play the game.
まあ、アクション性のある戦闘システムではありますが、アクションが苦手な人でも楽しめる作りになっております。
So there's a lot of action in the game design, but there are lower difficulties as well. So anyone can enjoy it if they just want to play the storyline.
はい、ということでですね、弾丸論破シリーズを、まあ、手掛けた、寺沢僕とですね、
So this game was made by me as the producer, Yoshinori Terasawa, and
あと、弾丸論破シリーズのゲームシステム、ゲームデザインの部分ですね、をほとんどやってきた、菅原。
Sugara, who also did the game design, which was mostly done by him, and both of them were from the Danganronpa series created team.
まあ、それ以外にも弾丸論破シリーズの、開発スタッフが、たくさんですね関わっている、タイトルになります。
And there are also various other very talented team members that worked on making this game.
はい、ご期待ください。
Please look forward to it.
Wow, that's awesome. As a huge Danganronpa fan myself, I want to know, what was your favorite part about working on this game with, like you mentioned, the Danganronpa core members?
弾丸論破のファンとして聞きたいんですが、
はい、
弾丸論破のコアチームと一緒にこのゲームを作って何が一番良かったと思いますか？
そうですね、やっぱり長く一緒にずっとね長いこと付き合って、まあ、ものを作ってきてるスタッフなんで本当にそこはすごくやりやすくて。
I've been working with these staff members for a long time, so I really like working with them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
でまあ本当にね今回は弾丸とはまた違う新しいチャレンジをこうやってできていることが本当に嬉しいです。
I'm very glad to be able to take on a new challenge by starting a new series that's not Danganronpa this time.
So you said one of the main game designers is Mr. Sugawara from the Danganronpa series, but he's not a name that I'm really familiar with.
Yeah.
Like, what did he do particularly on the game? For the original Dangan games?
ゲームデザイナーで弾丸論破の菅原さんがいらっしゃいますが、彼のことを僕はあまり知らないんですが、もうちょっと詳しく言っていただけますか。
そうですね、弾丸論破はね、小高という小高和孝という男が結構メインで出てますけども、シナリオ、キャラクター、世界観は小高が全部作ってますけど、もう一人ゲーム、本当にね学級裁判の部分とか、ああいう弾丸論破のゲームシステムをほとんど作ったのが菅原なんで、2人のタッグで作られてきてるものなんですね。
So the writing was mostly done by Kodaka, but all the game systems and the game design aspects was done by Sugawara. So it's been those are the two brains between the tag team that made the game come true.
あんまり表には出てないですけど、本当に小高と同じぐらい才能のある人間です。
He doesn't come out in the public eye very often, but he is a very talented person that's a very invaluable part of the team.
その菅原が今回作りたいというゲームをね、作ってきましたと。
So this game was made because it was something that Sugata really wanted to make, and we all wanted to make that a reality.
Wow, well, I'm really looking forward to playing all of Zanki Zero in English.
このゲームを英語でやるのを楽しみにしています。
はい、ご期待ください。はい。
Please look forward to it.
That being said, we will also pull some questions from chat, since we have Terasawa-san here.
ではチャットから質問を。
はい。
Question from chat: Which character do you like the most?
一番好きなキャラクター。
全？キャラクター？
はい。
りょう。りょうわかるかな？
His favorite character is Ryo, the artist of envy.
Are we gonna go back?
見れないか。
He's the artist of envy, and essentially it's this character that has a lot of red rope bondage all over him. Very interesting.
金箔アーティスト。ね、縛っていつも縛って。
He's a bondage artist.
Quite the artist indeed. Another question from chat: What inspired you to make this game?
どうしてこのゲームを作ろうと思ったんでしょうか。
これはね、本当にもう菅原がもう弾丸論破作ってる時からもう RPG 作りたいって言ってて、それで出してきた企画でございます。
This game is actually Sugata wanted to make this game since he was still working on Danganronpa. So that was what started the project.
That's awesome, and now I'm glad that he could finally make his dream come true through Zanki Zero with you.
やっとこの彼の夢を叶えさせてあげてよかったですね。
そうですね。もちろんね、面白くなりそうだからやったわけでね。で実際本当に早くもうみんなにプレイしてもらいたいぐらいの出来になってますんで、はい。
Yes, I'm glad he's able to do what he wanted to do, but we also did it because it looks like a very awesome game, and we're glad we were able to make it.
I mean,
go ahead.
And it is an awesome game, so that's awesome.
I was going to ask, like, can you give us a bit more details about the gameplay? Like, I saw a lot of people in chat were kind of getting excited because it seemed like a very kind of like old school dungeon exploration game, and I know there's also elements where like if you die, your characters can get stronger. So is it kind of a lot of like learn by your mistakes and kind of get better as you play through?
このゲームのシステムにもうちょっと教えていただけますか。チャットの方たちもすごく興味があったそうなので。
はい。そういう意味だとね、割と今までにもあるような、システムの中にこのゲーム独自では、死ねば死ぬほど強くなるというシステムが入っています。
So one of the unique aspects about this game is the system that when you die you get stronger because there are various skills you can unlock when you die depending on how you die.
屍システムと。
Yes, currently we call it the Shigabane system.
その死んだ原因によってそれに対する耐性がつくことで、もうどんどん死ぬほど次に死ににくくなっていくっていう体になっていきます。
So as the clones are revived after they die, depending on how they die, they will gain resistance. For example, if they get killed by blunt attacks, they may gain a resistance against blunt attacks in their next iteration.
そこをうまくね、コントロールしながらゲームを進めていくことになります。
We like players to control that and use that to their advantage to make it through this game.
But your characters also age, right? So like you'd think like, oh, I only want to have like young people on my team.
Yeah.
But if you only have like young people, then what happens if like they all get old at the same time? Like how do you manage that?
キャラクターは年を取るというシステムがあるそうですが、例えばチームが幼いキャラばかりだったりしたら、そういうのをコントロールする要素もあるんでしょうか。
そうですね。だからもうやっぱりその子供であったり青年、壮年、老人って4段階あるんですけど、それぞれにメリットデメリットがあります。
There are 4 age groups in the game, from childhood to young adult to middle ages to elder ages, and there are disadvantages and advantages to each age range.
だからまあ基本的にはその、ストーリーを進めるために強敵と戦うときは、まあ、青年で揃えた方がやっぱり良かったり。
When you're playing through the game, might have better chance of being a powerful opponent if you do have young adults comprising your team.
そうではなくて素材を集めたり探索するときはまた、子供でやってみたりっていう。
Or you could also change your team to be in their childhood if you're just going to explore and collect items.
まあそういった使い分けというか、そういう遊び方ができます。
So there are various different strategies you can use when you're playing through the game.
ただゲームとして別にそんなにシビアじゃなくて、まあ基本的にはもうごちゃ混ぜで、やってっても全然クリアはできるゲームになってます。
But it isn't so strict that you can't beat the game unless you're very minimizing and maximizing all these different age ranges.
Oh, it sounds really exciting, and I can't wait to get to play it.
とても楽しみにしています。
はい、楽しみにしてください。
Please look forward to it.
One last question from chat, because everyone just keeps asking a bunch of questions. They love seeing you here on Twitch stream. What inspired the mechanics of dying and getting stronger that you just explained?
先ほど説明していただいたキャラクターが死んでまた生き返って強くなっていくというコンセプトはどうやって思いついたんでしょうか。
そうですね、これもまた菅原が考えたコンセプトではあるんですけど、まあ、クローンということで、まあ、限られたその寿命があるという、設定の中で、まあ、ゲームとしてどう落とし込んだら面白いかなっていうふうに彼が考えて生み出したシステムになります。
That was another one of Sugawara's ideas. Since the concept was that the characters are clones and they are going to die, it was naturally progressed from that idea, and they implemented that into the game.
プレイしてみないとね、ちょっとピンとこないかもしれないですけど、まあ本当プレイしてみると、面白いぞって感じてくれると思います。
It might sound like a foreign concept until you actually play it, but when you do play it, it ties very well into the game, and I think it's a natural mechanism that's very fun to play with.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun. So,
楽しそうです。
speaking of fun times, now it's time to start our own killing game here in the Twitch chat with some goods from the Danganronpa team. So we have a couple t-shirts. If you can dig for them, Dave.
Yes, excuse the crinkling.
Excuse the crinkling sounds of t-shirt plastic. Oh, not just a t-shirt, we also have a towel. There we go.
ロンパ T シャツ。
It's a Rompa t-shirt. Here we have Monokuma and Monomi on the other side.
This is like a
handkerchief.
Yep.
Kind of.
From Danganronpa 2.
And lastly, from Danganronpa V3, dice towel. For those of you who are Oma Kokichi fans, I know you're out there.
大間ね、大間
Oma
小吉。
Yeah, this is Oma right here. So, for those of you who want to win these Danganronpa prizes, Zanki 0. Go. Say Zanki 0. Do it right now. And we'll pick a random winner from the chat.
Well, 4 random winners, right?
4 random winners, yeah. All right, thank you so much, Terasawa-san.
Hey, thank you.
But we're actually going to ask you to stay. And we're going to have some fun times with our friends over here.
実はちょっと残っていただいて楽しいゲームをしましょう。
いや、嫌です。
Are you ready?
やだ。
Are you ready? I mean, we've been talking about games all this time, and now it's time to put you guys to the test. Here we have, calling him back, the man you all loved, that we all said I love you, Dylan. Dylan Cuthbert. Yay. He's cosplaying as Tiki Man now. Here. See, I'm so glad everyone could cosplay on the stream with me. This is awesome.
Okay, we're in.
Yep.
All right, so let's go on and switch to some PS4 gameplay.
Hey.
All prepared. Oh, yes.
Oh, we gotta get out of there. Yes.
If you guys want to couch co-op 428, that's also cool. You can decide who makes the decisions and who reads the story.
Is that possible to do?
American way round. Where did it go?
Oh, it'll switch back. I mean, until then we have these twins. These are given away though, Terasawa. You can't keep them.
Yeah, unfortunately. 残念ながら。
かわいいね、これ。
Yeah, it's super cute. Yeah,
Cute.
I want one. Unfortunately, I didn't win the giveaway, so. But we have here PixelJunk Monsters 2, which is coming out on PlayStation 4 and Steam and Nintendo Switch. But we have a PlayStation 4 build here to show. What Dylan was talking about earlier, the multiplayer mode. You can do couch co-op.
Yep.
And I think this is a really rare opportunity to get developers from Japan here in the States to play the game.
Yeah, because obviously, Dylan, you know the score, but I don't think that Mr. Terasawa has ever had a chance to play the game before.
Oh, right. A
I
novice.
think we had like 5 minutes of the game,
Okay.
so it's time to teach them.
はい、わかりました。頑張ります。
This time around, the music's been done by Yukio Kario, who's been doing a lot of music recently for a lot of games, and he's got a really nice kind of Northern European kind of sort of sound.
You can definitely hear it right now. It's like super nice.
Okay.
Alright, so we're out here in Dawn Fields. Is this just kind of the main UI of the game, or?
Yeah, this is like the sort of, I don't know, like the overview, like the overmap.
It's kind of like the game hub.
Yeah, so I think if you push the square button, or maybe on sure. I was trying to get to it. Oh, it's not connected. Control isn't
Oh, we
connected.
have to log it in.
I think
Battery.
I believe we need a new controller. This one seems to not be working.
Uh-oh.
We've got another controller though, and it's gonna complain. Oh.
Right.
Nice catch.
Right on time. Okay, this one's flashing, so we should be good.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Do we need a new user though, right?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
We can do a guest.
As guest.
And do not sign in. No signing in here. We're not connected to that network.
There you go. Press any button. Yep, that's fine.
And
Yeah.
a second Tiki Man
Okay.
appeared. This is the Terasawa Tiki Man, and the original Tiki Man, like the plushie, is Dylan's.
これね。
You can now jump. So in the
I
original
jump.
monsters, you couldn't jump. So let's go over here. Let's go.
Just jumping all over the
Yeah.
place. And
Jumping
the
on
way
the
they run, they're
trees.
just so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go into stage 1 now. Over here. Oh, he's going to go over there.
Oh,
now.
come back.
Well, that's the problem with co-op, right?
Yeah.
Cooperate.
This is a classic example of what could go wrong.
But jumping is just more for fun in games, right? You can actually.
Yeah. There is actually, if you go up to a high place and there's monsters running below you, you can jump and then push jump again and you'll do a drop attack. So there's just a little bit of sort of action, sort of player action going on there. So this is showing the route the monsters will come in. So the original game didn't really have this. So we've made it a lot more polished this time around.
Allows you to predict where they're coming from, then, and prepare for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because especially like when you're dealing with the spiders, like if you don't know where they're coming from, you
Yeah,
They're so
they
fast.
can rush you. They can rush you pretty quickly. So I'm going to go over here now. So.
Run, jump,
Yeah.
go.
And so if it's his first time,
Yep.
well,
I don't think he knows where he's going.
so you can build towers, obviously on the trees, just like the original game. That's it. And then maybe
Okay.
choose the
Yep.
left one.
Oh,
So
Yes, the American control.
what's
And
the
then the
difference
cannon.
between
Okay.
different kinds of
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Thank you.
bunch of options here too. So
Yeah, we're coming in. I'm going to build a tower.
building
I'm gonna
all these
build a
kinds
good
of
old-fashioned
towers.
arrow tower.
Oh,
we go.
there it goes. Completely taking out the first wave of monsters right now.
So
I feel like we're announcers on a game.
this is the new esport.
We're doing
Yeah,
quite
the
well.
new
Look at
esports, PixelJunk Monsters
coin,
2.
coin.
Oh, yeah, get
Coins.
coins.
Yeah,
Get coins.
you
get
need coins to build new towers, right?
Yes, yep. And occasionally gems will be dropped, and the gems are also used to build more advanced towers.
Now, what
We
do
can't
you
upgrade, so
doing?
this
to kill
dance to upgrade. So there we go. We can dance together.
Oh, but what
Together.
if you guys both dance next to the same tower?
Yeah,
does
here
it
we
like
go,
go up? Does it power up faster?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So when there's 4 players, it's quite.
Yeah, you could all have like a little dance
Yeah.
party right next to the tower then.
なるほど。
There we go. Dancing away.
Oh, that's going
Upgrade
super
the
fast.
towers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay.
there we go. We go.
イエーイ。よっほい。
And here come the,
Cool.
コイン
yeah,
コイ
the
ンコイ
little
ン。
sycamore enemies there. Oh, we got them. We're doing quite well.
So can you only use this overview map, or are there other functions? that
On
you use?
multiplayer, also on the co-op, sort of couch co-op, you can only use this view.
I see.
But online, you can go down into the close view,
The first person.
or one people,
Level up.
or if you're in the first one-player mode as well. Because if you're in this view, if you went down into that view, you wouldn't be able to see the other player.
Oh, that's
so.
very true. Yeah, then
So
that's
that's the only limitation for the couch co-op, unfortunately.
Oh no, but it's very awesome. You get to see where your party members are jumping around and going to.
Exactly, yeah.
Gotta keep them in check.
I think I'll build another tower.
So
no,
what's the difference between the different kinds of towers you can make?
Okay, so there's, for example, this is an arrow tower which shoots more slowly.
He's getting away.
And but more precisely. And up here there's a cannon tower, and the cannon tower shoots cannonballs which kind of explode and take out more enemies in one go.
But they're
He's
probably
running
like
around.
slower,
Where's he
right?
going? Come here. So I'll see if I can do the drop kick from up here. Look. So
Oh
we've got
wow!
this
Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. When they get here, they come.
お何やるの
Here we go.
おお
Yes, did it.
お
Oh,
That's
you kind of
very
did a better job.
Yeah, you-
It's mainly used like you can just use it to help reduce their health a bit. Right, here we go again.
But could you actually completely destroy the monsters using it?
You could, yeah. There's four of you.
Aggressively, right?
There's four of you
Oh,
doing
that
it.
makes sense. Yeah.
So
You
it's,
can all team up and just.
yeah, all team up and go at
destroy
it.
them.
It's pretty good fun.
グレードアップグレード上げてもいいのかな
So you can actually upgrade the towers as well with the gems, right?
アップアップ
You can upgrade with the gems, yes. Yeah.
Is that the same as like
we don't have any
standing
gems.
next to them
It's, yes, yeah. You can either choose to spend time dancing to upgrade, or whether you use the gems to upgrade. It's part of the strategy of the game. So.
I think I prefer a dance party.
yeah.
It's
When
just
you got-
super adorable.
When you've got four players like, running around, it does feel like that.
ダンスはそこにいればいいの動かなければいいんだ
Yeah, if you just hang out on a
あ
tower, you'll
本当は
start
踊ってる
dancing.
もんね
Yeah, if you stay there, it's just party time.
Yeah, yeah.
Dance, dance, dance.
So this is a very basic question, but why, like, what did these monsters do to you that requires you to exterminate them?
Well, they've
Why
been
would you be cruel?
they've been taken over. That's the mask. They have the mask, right?
Yes.
Well, we have the Tiki
Over
Man
here.
mask here, but we also have a
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the
An enemy mask.
Yeah, and these masks are what animate them to be bad. So it's really the mask's fault, not really the creature's fault.
So they're all innocent, nice creatures on the
Kind of,
inside.
yeah. You still knock them out though, but
We'll still destroy them.
well, they originally animate. I mean, this particular one is made out of rock, so it was originally kind of inanimate anyway. So.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I think we're gonna get him.
Oh. Doesn't seem as. Oh,
There
nice.
we go. He has a nice
Yay.
little death there. So we've got one gem. So we've got this new feature now. In the stage, there's a shop here,
Oh.
and I can buy
Naruhodo.
like one of these, which can speed us both up. Oh, I can get the one up here. I can afford this one. And I think I push that button. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. So if you run into this, yeah, there you go. Can you? Oh, we have to wait for the monsters to run into it. So okay, I'm going to go because if we're near it when it goes off, we get speed up as well. So. Oh no! Oh no! There we go! Oh, it's all going wrong now.
Is that how it's
It's all
supposed to
going
work?
wrong now.
Is this
My pants are on fire.
Oh, they're all coming now.
I can run really fast.
やばいやばいやばいやばい
This is really bad.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like this sort of, yeah, it becomes a bit chaotic, but.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
But they're always going in one direction, right? Straight to the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
base where the
On
chibis
this,
are at.
on this particular stage, yeah, yeah.
So on other more difficult stages, they would be coming from different directions.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes. And
gosh.
in this stage, you can see some of the other routes because in this particular, well, in Monsters 2, what we've done is we've made like quite a big map, and then when you play
Yeah.
different stages, it unlocks other areas of the map, and they come in from those areas. So if we go up here, you can see.
Oh, we can't go up there unless
Yeah,
Terasawa
so-
joins with you, right?
Yeah, there you go. So there's another path up there, and that's in
Oh, I
another
see.
stage that will be used.
What happens if you press X?
Yeah, we can push this off.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay,
Hey.
fine.
So if there's monsters down there, they get knocked out. It's
Oh,
it's
very
really
cool. So you can actually interact with the environment too.
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah, yeah.
So drop kick, drop boulders on them. That's pretty high.
I'm going to upgrade
cool.
this tower. Oh, I can't. I need 3. Okay.
I mean, the visuals are very whimsical, but playing through the game, I found out very quickly that it requires a certain level of precision and like planning ahead.
You're right.
Yeah, definitely. You can't, you might think you're safe at one point, and then suddenly you're like, oh no.
Oh
You
no.
know, one of the monsters got through, and then you're running out of money, and you can't you can't beat him. And if they get to the hut over here, of course, they'll take out these lovely, cute little the little chippies. Yeah.
And so it's basically game over when all the chibis die?
Yeah,
Or-
basically, yeah.
Ah.
But of course, as PixelJunk Monsters fans know, that if one dies, you don't get a rainbow.
Right.
So it's
A very sought after rainbow.
Basically, yeah.
And what's
So
the advantage of getting the rainbow?
if you get a rainbow, it unlocks new areas in the game. If you complete the game without a rainbow, it just unlocks the next level, so the next stage. But so you can you sort of play through, then you go back and get more rainbows, and then play and unlock the other stages and areas. And there's 5 areas to unlock.
So there's actually a lot of replayability as you kind of like go through and like learn to master the different.
Yeah, definitely.
You
And
start learning where they come from.
and also you can get a rainbow for completing an easy, medium, or hard as well. And so you can go back and play the same stage just on easy, medium, hard, and get 3 rainbows, for example. So there's a lot of choice in how you get your rainbows.
I have a question because I'm really bad at this game. How hard is hard?
Hard is quite hard.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's
but
no
not
hope for me.
impossible, not impossible. And I think the original fans and well, we all know that if you persevere, you can definitely beat every stage.
Get through it.
Yeah, you can get through it, and then the more players you have helping out, the better. We can go over there if we want. There's like a lake over here.
So there's a lot of exploring you can do, and
Basically, yeah.
that's where the jumping ability
So
comes
we got to
in.
go explore the rest of the map here.
Does,
So in other stages, the monsters will come in from this side.
I see. The tunnel poles indicate that, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
so does the game scale in difficulty when you have multiple players, or can you just kind of use that as a way to beat stages that you normally wouldn't be able to on your own?
It does have a bit of scalability, but it's still, because you're all helping each other and you can spot things more quickly, it does still make the game a little bit easier if there's more of you.
Oh my God, where did they come from right
Well,
now?
yeah, these guys.
Just looked away for a second.
I think we should build. Let's see, maybe I can build
A cannon? Is that what the?
I can build Tesla.
The Tesla.
Let's go to Tesla.
Nice.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so this used up 3 gems. In the old game, you'd have to go back to the Tiki Hut and unlock towers to use there with like more gems. But in this version, we've simplified it a little better by making it so the tower cost itself just has a little gem cost as well.
I mean,
Yeah, he's pretty good. I like the Tesla tower; it's really cool.
and it has such a far range.
Yes,
There's that
yes.
yellow circle showing the range, right?
And if we upgrade it, it gets even stronger.
Oh no. And the range would get even farther, or?
They're getting through though, these
Yeah, I think
giants.
you guys need to build more towers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some towers out there.
Oh, we've got 2 towers. I think we'll get them. I think this will get them. There we go. Come on, please.
Oh no.
Oh, I think we'll do it. I'm gonna dance. There we go. We've got a gem.
And was that the final round, or? is there
We're
more?
coming up to the final one now.
Oh, I see. The
Yeah,
very
we've got the
top.
boss coming now. Let's go and see the boss.
ここで踊っとこう。ダンスダンス。
Yeah, dance, yeah.
So it's like if you clear out the one wave fast enough, that kind of gives you more time to prepare for the next one, or like parts
Yeah.
of towers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then if you're waiting for monsters to come in, if you cleared it quicker, then you can actually be dancing and upgrading other towers in preparation as well. So that was part of the real strategy of the original game, like working out when to do that, when to go and collect coins and stuff like that.
Well, that's a lot of managing several things at the same time.
It
So that
is.
co-op really helps.
It really does. Oh, here he's coming. So up here.
Oh, he's like a giant.
Yeah,
I think Terasawa just wants to stay and dance for a while.
he's staying down there.
ダンスダンスダンス。
We'll see him as he comes around the corner.
So basically, those towers that you've set up at the top wouldn't be able to take him out, right?
Yeah, he's pretty tough. We'll
Ah.
see. I think
Don't
even
see
with
life
all that,
bar.
I don't think his hit bar.
Oh,
his hit
he's
point bar.
making new guys.
Oh.
And oh yeah. So he makes new guys
はい、
as
レ
well.
ベルアッ
Kind of adds to the difficulty a bit. There he comes.
プ。
Oh, that Tesla is so cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite towers. Here he comes.
Yep.
And there's different types of bosses as well. Some of them fly, you know, and the different monsters that they spawn are different, you know, depending on the stage and the difficulty as well. Hopefully we can get him.
Oh. I love that they say "ow." You can really feel it.
You kind of feel guilty, right? Because like you said,
Right,
you know,
yeah,
they're not evil
monsters.
inherently. It's just masks, right?
Here we go.
We might need a couple more towers. Oh, an anti-air.
We might be okay. Let's see.
Oh,
Here we go.
I think
Nice.
that's it, right? Yeah.
Nice, yay.
Did it.
Just jumping.
You just jump
in
around,
excitement.
celebratory jump around.
Jump.
Whee.
But aside from jumping, there are ways to communicate with the players that you're playing with, right?
In the online mode, yeah.
In online
so
mode?
the online
Oh,
mode,
very
there's a messaging system that you can use to talk to the other players.
And that's your combined score, or
Yeah, yeah. So the host player, so the first player is, it kind of
Your
warns you at the
score,
beginning, but
yeah.
it gets the scoring and the progress from the game. So, and then what you get here is these ancient coins, these ancient tokens, and these tokens let you customize your player. So when you're playing a multiplayer game, you can actually wear a different shield or a different mask. So
are we able to buy one right now, or
I
we
might
just
not
play
have
one
it.
level?
I can show you the menu. So. We got a rainbow.
Oh,
Oh,
Good job.
So that's good.
Yep.
That's good going. Oh, next level opened up.
and that's how you unlock the next level.
Basically, yeah. Well, I can show you. So there's different areas up here. So if we run up there,
I think Terasawa stopped playing.
Okay.
Someone dancing with the
we run up
TV.
here. So this area up here, you need
Double,
rainbows
double.
to unlock this basically.
Hey,
Oh, you fell.
There you go. So we need 2 rainbow fragments to get through here.
I
That gets you
see.
to a new area. And if we go to this shop, there's another shop on this world as well. And this is where you can buy the shields and masks. And I show you some of those. So they're all really cool.
Oh, wow.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very
They're quite expensive. So you have to
expensive.
play a bit to earn the ancient tokens to pick these up.
Yeah, we only have 4 right now.
Exactly, yeah. But I love some of these. These are really cool.
The designs are so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And the other ones unlock as well. So it's a lot of fun just exploring your identity in the game.
And then that closer first-person view that we saw right now is kind of what it would look like, right, with the first person.
Yeah, so right now is it... Oh, so if we turn off that control, I can probably show you the first-person view. So I can show you the 1P mode.
So can I just press square here to jump out?
I think if you...
You might have to log out.
Yeah, I think you have to
Yeah.
hold down the button
Ah.
and then...
You can just close the application and start again.
Yeah, you just want to
Yeah.
boot up.
Oh,
everything.
okay, let's do
Yeah.
that, yeah. And I'll just quickly show you the internal view. There's a good example of all
Yeah,
the
I was
different...
just gonna say, like, this is super detailed and just, I mean, that's why I want them to see this. It's,
Yes,
it's
exactly,
such a beautiful
exactly.
environment, especially up close. Meanwhile, oh, it's upside down.
Upside down.
So are these masks also for giveaway, or are they your
We just
custom
wanted
masks?
to see what they look like, so we thought, oh, let's 3D. Let's
Oh,
use a 3D
awesome.
printer and print them up. You know, see how they come out. They come out pretty well. So.
Oh,
that's
they're
the-
light
That is
too.
it to
I
you?
I
Yeah, yeah,
expected
they're
them to be
quite-
super heavy.
Quite heavy and
thanks, man.
meaty.
Oh wow.
You can't actually see through this one, so it's
Yeah.
very difficult to play.
You could do some damage with this.
Yes, this is quite heavy. Yes.
So here's the sort of local view.
Oh wow.
That's sort of the close-up view. We kind of imagine this to be used to play around in and like get cool screenshots and that kind of thing. We thought, well, if we're going to make a new version, let's also spruce it up a bit and give them
really nice to look.
Well, it looks great. You guys did a great job.
Yeah, no, we've. It's quite scary, you know, when you in this view when you see the spiders and other monsters coming for you.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And when hordes of them are running after you.
Exactly. No, it's really cool. And we're showing now the PS4 version, but the Switch version basically looks the same and is the same quality. It's really quite remarkable, you know, how we've got both versions looking pretty much the same.
Yeah. That's incredible. I mean, these graphics by themselves are amazing. I can only imagine how it would look playing on portable as well.
Yeah, it's really nice. It'd be great for long trips and stuff. Good time killer.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dylan and
thank you.
Terasawa, for playing PixelJunk Monsters 2 today. And that's pretty much all the time we have left for the stream. But we didn't forget one thing, and that's
the grand
the
prize.
Grand prize, all the way from Japan. We have here Dave's daughter.
This is, I took my daughter on the plane with me. This is her first plane ride, and I'm sad to say that I have to let her go to a lucky member of the audience.
So here we have Nanami Chiaki from Danganronpa 2. It's a figure, and one person in chat, one ultimate grand prize winner, is going to win this actually pretty rare figure. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah, well, like the thing with a lot of Japanese figures is that they're all like made to order. So if you don't pre-order within the time window, you miss out on it, and then like you can't buy it afterwards.
So this is your chance. Come and get her. What's our keyword for this one? What do you want them to say?
Yeah, what are they going to say?
What should they say?
Hope or despair.
Oh, hope or despair. Go.
Oh, they're just all saying.
Oh, they're just saying Nanami Chiaki. I mean, that's also a form of hope and despair, right? Oh, give me hope.
Hope, despair,
Well,
hope, despair.
we will be choosing a random winner for Nanami-chan here.
Nanami-chan, kawaii.
She's super cute. But until then, we'll see you guys next stream. Thank you so much for joining Spike Chunsoft's first ever global Twitch stream. We're very lucky again to be joined by Dylan Cuthbert from Q Games and Terasawa-san from the Danganronpa team, Zanki Zero team, and even for me to be joined by Dave. You know.
Yeah, this is the first time I got to meet everybody on the U.S. side, so it's been an exciting week.
It's been an exciting week just working together and getting to meet everybody and forming this awesome team. And I can't wait to see and show you guys what we have next. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.